feel like a lot of our community are newly awakening to their gifts and they're stepping into whatever powers that they have. And I think when you first awaken to your gifts, you get really excited and you're like, hello, everyone, I'm reading you and I'm reading you and I'm picking this up and this is what I'm seeing. And you're just, it's just this like excitement. And I feel like, you know, everyone's got their own process. So that's probably part of it, but it's like really important that when you are in the healer space or where you are in the space of giving information, of receiving information, that you are taking it slow. And I've noticed a lot with newer healers to the space, it's like almost that endorphin of getting it right, of like getting the message right, where I'll notice it. I'm like, wow, I'm feeling like you're more excited about the message being right than like the actual trueness of them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm kind of adverse to that. And I've noticed that. So I'd love to just for you to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad that this is an unexpected category. I didn't know that we would go into it, but I'm so glad that we are, because I think it is so important, because truly I live by the pillar of belief that only when asked, only when invited do I share, you know, because I have experienced exactly what you are talking about, where someone whose spiritual connection points and lines started to open up and started to get information, and it's a very exhilarating time. Because, you know, being quote unquote awake and all of the spiritual stuff, it has grown, and I hate to say it, grown in popularity, but it's becoming more of a commonplace conversation. It's not as bizarro as it was a decade ago. And so then if it starts to happen, then someone's like, oh my God, that awake thing is happening to me. And like, oh, I'm starting to, you know, get tapped in. And, you know, am I a shaman? Am I a mystic? Am I a, you know, whatever. It can be anything. But yes, it can be very exhilarating. But that, when you start to feel that propensity of like getting slurped up and zoomed up into the cosmic realms and spaces, when you start to feel that lift and that type of exhilaration, right there is where you have to like bring yourself into your physical body, and also take a moment to like put your roots and drop your root chakra anchor into Great Mother Earth, and like sit with it and be with it and marinate with the download and messaging that you got received before you spew or transmit or put out from you any of what you think that you just got. Because one thing that happened to me that I felt very traumatizing was a friend. And, you know, I know she meant well, and I know her heart, and I love her to this day. But as things were starting to awaken to her, and she was receiving what she felt to be God messages that pertain to me and my book, and this is many, many, many months ago, I opened up my phone to a voice note message from her. And of course, I'm going to press play. And without warning, without prefacing, without asking in any way, I was receiving a quote unquote God-guided message to me about me and my path with my book, which was incredibly unnerving. It instantly made me run to the bathroom and have diarrhea. It instantly made me feel like I was going to throw up. It felt traumatizing. It felt violating. And that is 101, never effing do. Never, without asking someone if they even want to hear what you have to say. And like, God bless. And like I said, I love her, but the state that she was in terms of her life and what was going on for her own dynamics in life at that time, I would not have wanted to receive a message from her at that time. On top of that, I am very very strongly and profoundly and clearly connected into God, Goddess, Source, and directly into Great Mother Earth. And I rarely seek outside guidance. I don't need it. So that's just, I'm happy to talk about this for 10 more hours with you because it is so important, but that's just one real life example that I can share, that it can be incredibly, because when we open up our spiritual gifts, the entire point should be to be of service and to serve the highest, greatest good of that person and for all. And you oftentimes can and will be doing the exact opposite of that by being overzealous and invasive and violating with a message, even if you think it's a message from God for that person.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Microdose by Almost 30.
We hope you enjoyed waking up.
As always, we encourage you to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you enjoyed this trip, tune into the full episode on the Almost 30 podcast. All episode information can be found in the show notes.
Make sure to subscribe, and if this becomes a part of your morning routine, be sure to share it with a friend. We have new inspiring doses Monday through Friday. Follow us on Instagram at Morning Microdose, and follow Almost 30 at Almost 30 Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the vortex.